I hate that abrupt stop. Like, is it like it's really out of control? Like, seriously, like what the hell?
Yeah, it's shot on my and then on my end. It is paused, so I'm like I'm waiting like this. So every time you're like, hey, I'm like, so I need to call Xfinity and get my life together.
Is that your internet provider?
That is my internet provider. Yes, here in Houston is Xfinity.
Interesting. I'm gonna have you speak up a little bit louder, or
Okay.
pull your mic closer to you. But listen, it's the Shady Ass Tea. I'm here with my cousin host, Sir. And listen, we go ahead and get into it because it's been an interesting week. And
It
as
has
we
been.
do each and every Tuesday, we deliver the Shady Ass Tea. Sir, what's the tea?
Listen, before we get started in the tea, I do have to remind y'all that if you're not watching for a fee, if you are not logged into Tubi, watching for a fee, you need to be doing. Now, right now, don't do it right now. Stay where you are right now.
Right.
Stay glued to the screen right now. But when this goes off, when we log out, you need to log into Tubi and watch for a fee. Because we're episode 5. We're 5 weeks in. It's people getting kidnapped. Kids is getting kidnapped. You know what I'm saying?
It's getting wild.
It's
What's up,
getting
Tavon
wild.
Greatness? What's up, Nora Karma? Um, so I watched for a fee on the way here.
Okay.
Um, I'm sending you some in the private chat, sir.
Mm,
um, I had to pause. I can't. I guess I can. I'm not good at multitasking when it has to do with typing. So anyway, this is the word. I watched for a fee on the way to the office today. So I was in the car because I was like, it's so much traffic here.
right.
Last week we had the NFL draft in town, so people are probably still
Oh, so
here
the host
hanging
was
out.
busy.
Busy bees, okay? So, this is my question to you:
Hmm.
Is where's Malcolm? Where's he gonna end up? And is it he worth $200,000 or? But then he said 300,000. So I was trying to
All
figure
right,
out
three
which.
hundred. He said $300,000, and I was like, "Damn, that boy can barely play basketball." Like he,
Like, is he gonna make it back over his lifetime? Like, is that
right.
like that was my question? Was like, is this kid really worth $300,000, or are we just gonna chop it up to the
Listen,
game and let the kid
that's
go?
that is all Allison
How much are your
has.
kids worth, sir?
Oh, my kids are priced. I definitely come up with $300,000 for my kids.
Yeah.
100%. Now,
Okay,
somebody
each one
else's
of them.
child, each one of them, each one of them is worth at least $300,000. Somebody else's child, maybe not. Maybe somebody else's child might get a value meal, a McDouble, or something from me. But my
Not
kids
three
definitely,
hundred. Not three
nah,
hundred
nah,
thousand.
nah, not even 300 pennies.
It's getting wild out here in these streets. So for a fee, they got to ransom out for the shorty.
Hmm.
You figure out how that's all navigating. I still think oh girl might be the feds though. I'm
You
really
think
not.
so?
Or maybe she working with the people who.
I don't know. I think she said she was in the Marines. I
She
think
looked
she
like she
said
was
that.
in the Marines. She got the Marines look.
I want to feel like she said that. I don't want to act like like I haven't seen the whole season because I have
Hmm.
100% seen the whole season.
You,
And so I don't want to jump ahead, but
so you over here
spoiler
spilling
alert,
tea.
right? Spoiler alert! Y'all need to watch. I mean, if you had been watching it, you would be nothing would be
First of all, you
spoiled for you.
cannot spoil because I have not watched it beyond episode 5.
Okay, well, all right. Oh, Jenna, I've seen the whole thing.
So I'm in episode 5. So listen, this is the
Right, and I
word.
need a sweatshirt.
Why? I feel like every female on this show is a cheater. Okay, what is
All,
really going on?
all listen.
Everybody's a cheater. The men
Every
cheat.
nobody's
Everybody.
faithful. Nobody's faithful
None.
on this
Is that the
show.
Las Vegas way, or what?
I think so. I feel like that's the accurate depiction of the show of the city. When they jumped on that
Excuse
girl,
me,
I
sir.
just feel like it is.
Listen, I'm a faithful hoe. Okay, you don't.
Okay. So, for a fee on Tubi, the season 1 is on Amazon for purchase. I think it's 19.99. Go ahead and get that too because you need season 1 on some parts of season 2 to make for it to make sense. But it definitely check it out. So okay, so I feel like we would be remiss. I know the Met Gala happened. That happened, but I feel like we would be remiss if we did not talk about the Supreme Court potentially voting to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Over, like, not only will it be that, first of all, let's talk about what Roe v. Wade is, okay?
Okay.
Because I think that that part of it is important for a lot of people who are not involved in politics and don't really know what the heck is going on. I don't vote. I don't do politics. Those types of folks. And I think that that's the part that kind of gets a little bit, it gets a little risky because it's, I don't know. I'm just not really here for anyone telling someone else what they could do with their body. Like, it's of course, shout out to Nora Karma, says abolishment of abortion. So the thing is that do you think that women should have the opportunity to decide whether they want to, proceed with having a child or not?
I absolutely do. I personally am pro-choice. I have not always been pro-choice. I will say that. I'll be very clear on that.
Why? Tell me why. Because I think that's a real. I think these are real conversations. Is that a church thing or what?
Right. So I haven't always been pro-choice. Growing up, my family, our family, was very, very religious, and though they were very, very religious, so I assumed, and my belief at the time was that abortion was against God, and I didn't want to do anything that was against God. Now
that's one thing that's one thing I never jumped on that bandwagon of believing that. Right, but that could be because my mom never believed that either. Like, my mom didn't force that belief, I'll say.
I will say, it wasn't a belief that was forced on me. It was a belief that I subscribed to because I believed wholeheartedly what was taught in church. I believed it 100%. I believed the Bible was God's word 100%. That's what I believed.
I must have never believed what we were taught in church in its entirety.
I did, and I wasn't, and I was proud of that. I was very, very proud of the fact that I did, and I'm still very proud because that was my faith, and that my faith brought me through a lot of things, and so I wasn't ashamed of the faith that I had. I lived a little bit more life. I knew more women. You know what I'm saying? I was in more adult situations, and I had to make some adjustments in my belief system. So I do believe that it's a woman's choice what she wants to do with her body. I don't think a man should be able to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her own body. I don't think it should be a church thing or a state thing about somebody's uterus.
I think that those of you who are listening live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or if you're on Twitter, ladies, like, drop your thoughts. Like, what do you feel about the women's right to choose? And I do think that my personal opinion is that, people who were involved in church and things like that do have an opinion, or the teachings were that you should not, have an abortion. However, I feel like men were the ones in church who kind of pushed that to either other women more than women did to one another. If you did end up going to go get an abortion, it was like a whole situation. Like, you had to confess, and you're going to the altar and having a whole conversation. And I've never been with the shit. Okay, I'm sorry, I've never ever thought that that's something that someone else should decide for you, or you should do that just because of what the Bible says. Although I've always been giving the Bible a side eye and the church, so so that could very well be, why my thoughts are what they are as well. So,
well, it wasn't. I wasn't even directly taught that abortion was wrong. It was that babies are not mistakes, and so if you're pregnant, you're supposed to be pregnant.
I mean,
even in that situation, what was being taught is not that abortion was wrong; is that killing babies is wrong. Because that's how
no baby yet.
That's how abortions are being taught.
Thank you, Brian. Brian said it's your body, but I am pro-life. I don't know what your answer is. I don't know what when you go, if you decide, if something happens where you have to go and vote, what side you clicking? Yes, a woman should be able to choose, or no? Which one is it? Nora Karma says that this was the to keep the cost of healthcare down.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, if you want to call in, you can call. Brian, if you want to call in, it's 702-551-5261.
But yeah, I think that because teaching abortion that way, where it's you're killing babies, because that is how the church teaches abortions, that life starts at conception, and any termination of pregnancy is a termination of life. And so, if you shall not kill, how does that? Where does that stop? Where does that start? And if there's a baby growing in your body, that baby has a right to life. And so that's what I was being taught. And so it wasn't so much that we were anti-abortion, just anti-baby murder. And so if someone's teaching you baby murder, you don't want babies to die. Like who's like, I want to kill babies? No one's like that. And so that's what they're teaching. So that's why it's an easier thing
Kennedy says abortions are expensive. I literally have no clue. I have gotten phone calls saying, hey, I need to
they are more expensive than they used to be.
I have a girlfriend that needs to take care of some things, and but I have no idea how much an abortion is, and I would assume that it would be fairly expensive. But I think that
it depends on how far along they are.
Does it?
It does. It absolutely does, because the process changes depending on how far along you are.
Nora Karma says, if that is true, then you're going to hell for putting it in a condom or swallowing it.
The Bible does talk about spilling seed, 100%. You know what I'm saying? So no, it does. So I mean, like, as funny as that statement was, the Bible does absolutely talk about spilling seed and using and having seed spilled other than like procreation. So it does talk about that. So yeah. Fact. I mean, if that's what you're subscribing to is faith, then yeah, it does. You will.
There's some comments that I typically would not repost, but if you want us to repost this, the lady that I went to is $500 in the first 12 weeks. That was in 2010-ish.
And that's what they used to cost like now, like the first 12 weeks is like 6 or 7. And then like they
I would assume inflation.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. They're a little bit more expensive than they used to be. And then like some places won't do them after a certain time. I know in Mississippi they're watching a case there where they're trying to make abortions illegal after 15 weeks, and so which is still like right at the beginning of the second trimester. And I think Roe v. Wade has a protection up to 23 weeks, right before the baby can live outside the uterus. And so I mean it gets really really touchy when you're talking about that, because I really do not believe that the state should be able to tell a woman what to do with her body.
I don't think anybody should be able to tell a woman to do what they can do with their body. And, I think that it's interesting that the times that we are in and how people are so pro-choice about things, like, you decide if you want to get a vaccination or not. I want y'all to listen to this real quick. Y'all tell me your thoughts, because I'm really concerned here. I'm very much concerned.
Vaccinated? No, it's my body. It's my choice. My constitutional freedoms don't end where your political beliefs start. Those standards are granted in our Constitution. Those standards, if you are an American citizen, if you hail the American flag, you have unalienable rights. Period. It doesn't matter whether you're LGBTQ. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, Asian, Filipino. It doesn't matter.
What are you going to do about this whole abortion thing?
It needs to be abolished.
Abortion needs to be abolished?
Yes. I want to cancel it because it's being used as a form of birth control. I want to make adoptions cheaper and abortion. I want to flip the scales. It costs $68 to get an abortion.
How much to buy it? How much to buy a kid?
Almost $800.
Okay, so
I want to flip that.
So $68 for a kid, $800 for an abortion. Are you getting vaccinated?
Okay.
I mean,
wait a minute.
I said, listen. First of all, your man said, okay. He said what he said. He said that he is pro-choice, and he determines what he wants to do with his body, and if he's going to get a vaccination or not, then that's what it is. Okay.
Right.
And then when asked the question about whether or not he wanted to, I don't know, like how he felt about abortion. No one has a right to choose anymore. It's What's your thoughts on that?
I think that a lot of times is a very, very, very man point of view, right? And as a man, I know a lot of men are like, well, no, I should be able to choose what she's doing with this baby. I should be able to choose, all of these things. If I'm gonna be required to take care of it, I should be a part of it. And I don't want her killing my baby, right? Like that is a lot of men's point of view on abortion, right? But they also don't want to wear condoms. They also don't want to do male birth control. They also don't want to get vasectomies. They also don't want to, practice anything safe where the woman's not getting pregnant. And so I think it's, in a lot of ways, I think it's really idiotic for a man to even have an opinion on it outside of like she should, it's, what do you want to do? Or asking her what she wants to do. Because we're never going to carry a baby. We're never going to be pregnant. Even if we're doing the things to get pregnant, ain't nobody ever going to get a man pregnant, like not a biological man. And I'm not talking about trans people or people with, but yeah, I think that it's really sad when he can say the Constitution protects him against getting a vaccination, but they can turn around and say the Constitution does not protect women's bodies. And so
Shout out to Taz. Taz says, "Wow, he doesn't know how he feels about abortion. He wasn't his own thinking, but that's someone else's." I believe that to be the case too. And and they were this guy that was the interviewer. He is like a he's on the other side, and he goes to these rallies and trolls them. And ask them questions just to hear how ridiculous they sound, and I'm just not here for it. Hey, Bula Sweet, she said I agree with Sir. Hands off of our uterus, absolutely.
100%.
See, and this is one thing here, and shout out to Nora Karma said
booty sex
or booty sex. I don't know if you all have heard about like the way that Mormons have sex. Like
allegedly.
Okay, we'll say that.
Yes.
Because what I have heard, a story I have heard was
lots of butt sex.
Or
Oral.
or putting the penis in and no friction or moving back and forth.
Oh, just sitting in there.
And someone else jumps on the bed.
Not jumping on the bed.
This is a real thing.
Oh, like, can they get a vibrating bed?
Child, hopefully.
I mean, because if you want somebody there, that's fine. Like, we can work that out. But like, that's a lot of planning.
So they just put the penis inside of the vagina, and instead of like making it seem like it's a penetration, I assume that this is like the fornication part of being intimate with someone before you get married. So like you're putting your penis inside, if the other person jumps on the bed,
right,
to create the friction, but you're not doing it. So it's not like you're actually having sex.
Is the third person jumping on the bed clothed, or are they naked?
I don't know. I would assume that they're not participating. They're just there to jump on the bed. Okay.
I want the jumper to also be naked. Like, I need the jump.
Ideally.
If everybody's in the room for the sex, I need everybody to be here participating in the sex. Like, you can't just be here watching.
So that's alleged. That's alleged premarital Mormon sex. So, I mean, listen, those of you who need to really pay attention would be everyone. Okay, because we're in a position right now that these people in the Supreme Court are really about to overturn this.
It was 100% a plan. They got all of these conservative judges on the Supreme Court, and they're all like anti-abortion, and they're working. That's why they were working so hard to not let sis, who just got confirmed, on. They don't want any
sis queen.
I'm sorry.
Esquire.
Excuse me.
Miss Supreme Court, Madam Supreme Court Justice.
Madam Supreme Court Justice. But yeah, there was a plan in for a long time, because this has been Roe v. Wade was passed in 1973. We're in 2022. We're still talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And so people are really upset. There are people who are like, we don't want abortions, but like these senators and these judges who don't want abortions will get abortions for their mistresses, will get abortions for their daughters, will get abortions for, their nieces and, their secretaries. But if you was like, you know what, I'm not gonna have this baby because I don't have time, right? You're using it as birth control.
Or simply it was an accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I personally cannot say that I've never been pregnant before. So I have no idea what it's like to be pregnant accidentally in a position where I'm not even finished with college. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I don't have
Right.
anything in order to, take care of this child. I don't
Right.
know what that's like. I can
Right.
only imagine that if I was 19 in college and I did accidentally get pregnant, and you can't accidentally get pregnant by using contraceptives. Okay, you can. Okay,
Yeah.
it does happen. So let's say that happens, and now I'm like, this is really not a good time in my life to
Right.
do this.
To
You
have
know
a
what I
baby.
mean?
Right.
Or maybe there's someone got raped, or maybe it's somebody's daddy, maybe it's somebody's
Right.
uncle, and maybe it's somebody's cousin. I don't know.
I think it's even as simple as I don't want to have this baby. Like I could be well-to-do, married, you know what I'm saying, working. I can afford 7 kids. I just don't want one. You know what I'm saying? And so I should be able to say I don't want to have this damn baby, and not have to like give any reason other than I don't want to fucking have it.
Right. The thing is, you shouldn't have to give a reason because
Right.
sometimes your reasons are personal. You know what I
Right.
mean? Sometimes you haven't even processed through the reason. You don't even know what it is. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I just think that the state that you live in, they have already decided what they want to do with abortion. And and the thing is, Roe v. Wade was based off of Texas before.
Right. And
So-
so if they overturn it, it turns it back over to the states, and all the states get to make decisions. So which means the South it's a wrap for all the Southern ladies. Anybody in the South, it is a wrap.
Right. And the
Midwest,
thing-
South, Rapinski.
And the people who are living down south or Midwest or wherever that may be, that they decide that they want to go ahead and change that, be aware that it's going to be illegal to go across state lines and get this done if you are a
Right.
resident in that state. Like it's not
Period.
going to be as simple as, oh, okay, well, I could go to Nevada and get it and then I can
Yeah.
come home.
But
No.
even if it was that simple, somebody like say a poor lady, not even she ain't got to be poor. She just got to, she working, she living check to check. She get pregnant by some nigga at her job. Excuse my language, and she don't want to keep it. She ain't got no money to get on the plane to fly to Las Vegas and pay for an abortion. Where's she gonna stay? At the abortion clinic? What she? You know what I'm saying? Like they're
there's
making
always
it.
the budget suites, but I'm just saying.
It's so ridiculous.
It is. So, those of you, be aware of what's happening and understand that these are the people that you elect to, be part of Congress, part of the
Right.
Senate, for them to even get to the Supreme Court, to even make this decision. Like, seriously, you all need to make sure that you get out and you vote for the people who make these decisions in your state, because now it's going to be up to your governor, it's going to be up to your
Right.
senator to make
Right.
these decisions. So if you don't get it together now, by the time we finish with this, we're not going to have voting rights for Black people.
Right.
We're not going to
It's gonna be
have
ridiculous.
women's rights or health care for anyone. Okay, like let's really get this together, because it's and then too. And Brian says vote for your interest. Listen, like I'm here to register to vote as a Democrat, but I'm voting for things that are important for my community. So if
Right.
that happens to be on the other side, and
voting
that
for
person
that.
makes more sense,
I'm voting for that.
I'm voting
I-
for that. So
Yeah. That's really protecting women. If you want to protect women, allow them to have their choice.
you can.
You know.
So Brian, independent is all great, is all well, but you cannot vote in certain
in a presidential
terms.
election, yeah.
You can't vote in why am I
Your vote doesn't count.
so you can vote independent if there is a strong independent candidate in the actual presidential election, but if you are registered independent, You cannot go to the caucus for Democrats or Republican if you're not registered for either. So registering as an independent really is not the best idea. You can definitely vote independent if that's what you choose to do. But registering independent currently is not a bit beneficial for caucus purposes. So I hope that information is helpful.
Hope so. But yeah, vote, please. And I like I said, I really do feel like not allowing, but taking away states and government out of reproductive rights is protecting women. Like far
Yes.
far more than like, oh well, she should be able to, wrestle with men. Like, all right, she should be able to make a decision with her own
Or
body.
swim.
Right, or swim,
Or swim with women.
Like we talking about that. Oh, protect women. Have a good day. She should be able to choose what she wants to do with her own body.
Yeah. I think that it's important too for ladies to understand that the reality is that women have been getting the short end of the stick for quite some time. Okay, and whatever the ethnicity is, women have been the short end of the stick. Okay, whether it comes to equal pay. Whether it comes to health care, equal rights, like we can't even, the most expensive things that we need to get on an annual basis, that service is the most expensive service. Like it's ridiculous, and it's like if you do have a baby, it's you out hundreds of thousands of dollars in the event that you don't have health care.
Right.
So let's really pay attention. And
I have a question.
And Brian says black males too. Listen, we ain't talking about black males. We're talking about women's rights right now. So I need y'all to stay focused, okay?
I have a question.
Because black men cannot have an abortion or make a decision about a woman's body, period. Okay? I love you, but this ain't it. We ain't talking about black men right now. We talk about black men all the time. And we love and support y'all.
Men all the time?
I talk to you. You a black man all the time. I talk to you, and I'm
a black man every day.
I love you. I support you. I uplift you.
You do, and I uplift you, and I support you.
That's how it's supposed to be. But today we talk about women's rights.
Yeah, I agree. I like I said, I'm very pro the woman. She makes the decision. Now,
thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
Can I ask a question? Okay, so have you seen the argument? Just real quick before we move on to anything else. Where if she makes a decision not to have the baby, right? That's fine. But if she makes a decision to have the baby, can the brother then make the decision not to take care of it?
I think so. I think that certain things need to be worked out prior to deciding. So, like the child support situation after the fact is not the most ideal situation, right? But I think that we didn't have certain technologies before. To confirm whether or not a child is yours or not. Now, I think that now maybe those things like determining paternity before, and that way we know the plan. We know what the plan is. I think that would be ideal for me. But that also has to do with healthcare, and it looks like your Congress is trying to get rid of healthcare as well. So.
Okay. Okay.
What's your thoughts?
I think that, and this is just personally, I think that if the people who are having the baby, if the woman says, I'm going to keep this baby because it's my body, it's my choice, I'm going to keep this baby, and he says, I don't want to have this baby, right? And he says, I'm not taking care of this baby, I don't want to have this baby, and he goes. I think that him being forced to provide for a baby he never wanted,
well, he should have made the right precautions.
No, because if she can say she wants to have the baby, and he's saying I don't want to have it, and it's 100% her choice, he should have some choice in the matter. Like he doesn't at that point, he has no choice in anything.
I think you should write your congressman and governor.
Okay.
To make sure they provide the resources and tools in order for whatever you think men's rights should be when it comes to making that decision whether or not they're going to take care of a child that they put into the world by being careless oftentimes. So,
okay. We're not talking about black men right now, though. That was just a question.
I'm talking about any man. I don't care. White men got deadbeat dads, black men, Asian men. It's deadbeat dads in all ethnic cultures. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Let's get it straight.
If we're talking about choosing,
Brian said it's still his kid.
It was he. All right. Listen, I take
I'm
care of
just
mine.
saying. Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Well, we know you 100% take care of yours. Like
yeah,
we know that. The reality is that every man is not like that. So
right,
sometimes it'll be a situation where this man could get 10 women pregnant and be like, I
right.
don't want to
I
take
don't want
care of
any of
this.
these babies.
And that's not a fair thing. So no, that's not how this works, sir. So I think
Listen,
that um, I think that I think at that point it's the woman's right to choose, and then at that
uh-huh.
point they can choose to go ghost and not pay child support, and then go from there and get arrested if necessary, or not. Like I don't, I mean I don't know where we want to go with this.
Listen.
I just think that
I'm just asking.
any man that so happens to bring a child into the world and doesn't want to take care of it or be there like from start to finish ain't shit.
I don't
I don't
disagree.
care what the circumstance is.
I don't listen. I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is, if there's a choice in whether the baby comes into this world, and the man has no choice in that, like
Man doesn't have a choice.
he doesn't have. So men don't have choices.
He had a choice to put to where he was gonna drop his seed off at.
She did too, though. She was there. He wasn't there by himself.
Listen, let's not play like men try to drop them kids off at the pool. Okay, men try to drop the kids off the pool at the pool because they get a extra sensation out of this. Let's really keep it real.
Oh, okay. Well, if we're gonna really, really, really keep it real, there are women who who ask you not to pull out, who tell you to come in them. That's what they asking
Then
for.
y'all both got a problem, and no one.
Right, but that's
like,
what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like, because I feel like that point is saying like that women are just like helpless there getting nutted in without their consent. So they're like, oh no, it's not. That's not what's happening most of the time. They know what's happening.
I think men have enough
when he put
rights.
it in, he didn't have a rub on.
I think
You know
men
what
have
I'm
enough
saying?
rights around here.
You think? So? That's fine. That is perfectly fine.
I think
Listen.
Are you finished or are you done?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's
All right.
fine.
Well, we'll close the case on that. Y'all pay attention because I'm assuming by the end of this week that's going to be overturned. And now that's going to make you stay connected to your local election so you can see which one of your politicians here in that makes those decisions in your state are actually going to be for, choice. And here in this state is going to be Sisalak. Okay, so you do what you want with that information. Below Sweet says that I am right. Okay, men need to think about where they are dropping their kids off. I'm trying to tell you, don't drop kids off at the pool.
Listen,
if you don't want them to get wet. I think that we can leave it there. I think we should leave it at that moment because that way, when I edit this to the podcast, boom, it goes silent, and then
yeah, that's fine. We can leave it right there. We can leave it right there. So, okay. So I was reading on the CNN website because I was reading about the thing we were just talking about. Then I saw that this book just came out. Who's this man? What's the man's name? The former Defense Secretary Mark Esper. He has a new book coming out, and in the book he mentions that former President Donald Trump says about the protesters for the George Floyd situation. Can you just quote? Can you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the leg or something. Like he wanted the protesters shot, which isn't surprising, I guess, but is still a little surprising because damn, you really gonna shoot them? So like the January 6th protesters, that the insurrection people, those are heroes, right? Those are great Americans. But the people protesting for George Floyd should be shot in the leg or something. Just be
peacefully protesting, by the way.
Peacefully protesting. They didn't
not going up into the White House, breaking windows. I don't know, threatening people's lives, breaking into offices that are federal offices. I mean, killing people. Yeah,
right.
None of that. But
those are great Americans.
Shoot all of those people who believe Black Lives Matter, please.
Right.
That's what they want you to do.
Yes, and this is in his book. What's the name of this book? I want to tell you the name. It's Frankly, We Did Win This Election, The Inside Story of How Trump Lost. And again, it's written by a former insider, Trump insider, Secretary Mark Esper.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you know what? Donald Trump is a lot of things, right? And I have conversations with my sister a lot. She's not a fan of Trump, but she is definitely not his a hater of him. She likes a lot of his financial policies. I think in general he was a
That are
pretty
not applicable.
right. They're not applicable.
When you like policies that are not applicable to you, what is the purpose?
Listen, I am.
It
I'm
like
just,
let's really process through this, and and hopefully she's she logged in or whatever, hit the replay or listen to the podcast. Like liking policies is great, okay, but if the policy is not applicable to you or your community, then how is that helpful? It's not. It just you're creating an idea of what you hope and wish that you could do, okay, and what you hope and wish you had in your bank account, but it's not applicable to you, and it's only beneficial to those that 2%.
well, she's saying that during his presidency, she did see some lower.
We didn't forget Brian what generation he comes from.
No, not at all.
Child, we know.
Not at all. That she saw more money during his presidency, and then now there are and
we saw more money because we were in a pandemic and they gave y'all access to money that wasn't even
before any like pandemic or any stimulus money. It was just more money.
How he was only in office for a year before we even went into a pandemic.
Listen, I
think a lot of people like wish and hope that they could be Donald Trump. They wish and hope that they could have all of the ideas and the money he claims to have and the businesses he claims to run well and all of those things. Like they hope like, oh, because that's me, because I got all these millions of dollars. And that's he's talking to me because that's what I can do and I can get all this extra money. But no, you have to realize that the policies that were in place the first year that this man was in wasn't even his policies. It was President Obama.
Right.
It wasn't his policies, yo. Those things trickled over for the next year and a half. And then all of a sudden we over here in a pandemic because your man's Trump did not take proper precautions to keep our world from getting jacked up. And here we go.
How I feel about Donald Trump is I think he is
Brian, I am not surprised.
What is not? We are not surprised.
He said he actually liked him.
He actually liked Trump. See, a lot of people did. A lot of people liked Trump.
Yeah, because they're hopeful. Because in their mind,
I don't think it was that. I think it was
it's the millionaire mindset.
I think.
But you don't have $1 million.
The people I've spoke to that like Trump is not about him being a millionaire. Is that the way he spoke when he was out, they felt like he said whatever was on his mind. They felt like he wasn't shying away from confrontation, and that is something. Yeah,
they're like, Proud Boys, stand down. We go kill those niggers later.
Right, but I mean,
and y'all still like him? Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, some people prefer to know that they think about it as. You
cannot be serious that this motherfucker.
I'm just saying, people want to know their devil, right? And so that's how they feel about it.
This dude right here literally went in front of a church that he ain't never been to, stood in front of it with a Hitler pose and told the Proud Boys to don't go out and kill those niggers like I told you fucking to. Hold on. And y'all still out here liking this motherfucker. Y'all got me fucked up. We can continue. I am, because
your tone is very pointed right now.
And I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the ridiculousness of the idea that y'all really want to like this man who at home literally probably call y'all niggers. I cannot.
And you know what? There's something to be said about, and a lot of people I've spoken to, a lot of the black people I've spoken to, they like Trump. There's something to be said about him being outwardly racist, and he's not like pretending not. Nope. And so there's this idea that if someone's going to be racist, they need to be racist right here. You know what I'm saying? And don't.
Sir, how ridiculous do you think that sounds? After you said it out your mouth, how do you think that sounds?
I understand the point, right? Because for somebody like Joe Biden, who is a racist, right? Joe Biden is not an ally for black people. Let's just be honest.
Is he a racist, or is he just a white man from early 1900s?
Equals racist. Right? Like,
like the whole
thing.
culture, and
That's the
thought
same
pattern was
thing.
different. That's one thing that Brian had
Right.
mentioned earlier. We can't forget what era
Right,
he's
but
from.
But what I'm saying is that he is more covertly racist, right? Like, he may be better now that he's 147 years old and he's about to die and trying to get into heaven, but prior he wasn't. He called us super predators along with Hillary and Donald and everybody else back then. All the black people were super predators, and that was him. He was attacking Anita Hill. He was the head prosecutor on the Anita Hill when she was going against Clarence Thomas. So it's something to be said for somebody who's like, hey, I don't like your ass, and I'll look you in your face and be like, I don't like you, and so where you stand with that person.
Right. Bula Sweet says, I've heard a lot of people say that they would rather know who they are up against rather than unknown. I completely hear the ideal that we
And
do
that's what
want
I'm
to
saying.
know. We want to know up front who's racist. Okay, listen.
Right.
Listen, we from, our family's from Gina, Louisiana. Okay, we could drive through Gina. You know every racist mofo there because they got a flag in their yard to tell your ass that they're fucking racist.
Very
okay?
that. It is
The
very
thing
racist.
is, like, I'm not opposed to people being upfront with being racist, but the reality is they're still racist and they don't care. And this dude really wanted to kill y'all. Like, it's
Right.
not like he was just racist and then he didn't want to give y'all some extra money on your paycheck. He don't want y'all to have no woman's rights. No, he wanted the people to come murder y'all. He wants y'all gone. This is his country. Okay, he's trying to make America great again, and y'all mofos out here talking about you like this guy. Get the Lord help us, for they know not what they do.
Lord. But yeah, I mean, it's the book. I'm sorry, and I misspoke earlier. The book is called A Sacred Oath. Is the name of the book, if you want to read the book. But yeah,
I agree with this one, Bula Sweets. Bula said, the killer is none of these people are for the people, white, black, purple, whatever. Agreed. And the thing is that that's something that we have to change, or the people who are in front of us making these decisions. Because now, what's the age that you could become president? Like, what?
45?
45, 42, 47? I don't know them.
I think it's
Okay.
45, American born, to be the president. I think those are the only two qualifications.
So we need to be finding someone who's 45, not someone who's 137 years old.
I'll be
trying
45 soon.
Okay, well, you ready?
I am. I'll be president.
I feel like your point of views could be slanted too much with too much conversation.
Me? Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so. I think that I have some strong points of view. I mean, I think
I
when
would
we're
not
talking
vote
about
for you, especially since you just said, what about men's rights when it comes to pregnancy? No, I'm voting for
Listen.
somebody else, damn it. We are not here
What
for
about
this.
men's rights? I'm gonna get in, do an ASMR of just men's rights. What about?
This is what I'm saying is that we need to find someone who is younger, because the reality is that if we continue to vote for people who were born in the early 1900s, I'm trying to make that very clear, okay, because you old, sir.
I was
But
born in the
those
late
people who were
1900s,
born in
thank you.
the early right, so those people who were born in the early 1900s, who do have ideologies that are from that era, they were racist. They were lived in a segregated world.
Right, and they were raised by racist people.
Women could not vote when they were young. Like, this is not. Women did not work in high executive positions or CEOs of companies. Like, this is not a reality.
Right.
So we have to understand that it's time for us to transition these people out so that we don't have to talk about a racist president. We don't have to deal with, well, I liked him because he's one of the people that everyone else liked because they're old as hell too. Like, we really need to transition these people out completely. And that has to start with local elections, local government,
Absolutely.
so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
Get these people out. Supreme Court, child, they gonna be 5,000 years old by the time they die and get out of Supreme Court. Like,
Right.
we just had one Supreme Court seat come up because the person damn near 100 years old. Like,
She died.
like, really? Stop it.
Oh, rest in peace, RBG.
No, that was the previous what was that 2 years ago? No, this new
Well,
one
I
was
mean, still rest in
replaced.
peace,
This new one's
RBG.
yes, but the new one was replacing someone who's just way too damn old, who shouldn't be on there in the first place, who are making laws about things today, who who are double the age of the times that we need to make decisions about today.
Right.
Like,
I do think that there should be some kind of age limit on like being a senator and being like, because at some point you're not even connected to who you're governing,
not at all.
right? And so like, yeah, I 100% agree that there needs to be some kind of age limit or term limit, just like there's a term limit
Brian,
for
you don't have to
president.
tell us to focus on local elections. We talk about local elections every single day here on Hot 7025. We have a
100%.
whole campaign called Vote Period, okay? And that's what we want y'all to do.
We gonna vote. Period.
If you
So
would like to vote, or if you're not registered to vote yet, you can go to hot7025fm.com, click on the Vote Period, and you can go right and vote and register to vote in your state.
there you can. There you
All
go.
right.
I like that look. That was perfect. So we're gonna pivot because this was a little heavy.
Okay.
This a little heavy up front. We did the heavy lifting up front. So the Met Gala happened. Kim Kardashian shows up. She lost 16 pounds to wear this dress.
I don't even know where she got 16 pounds to lose.
I was like, how on God's green earth? And she lost it in 3 weeks.
Like, where did she get 16 pounds?
I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight for her. She's not a big lady. She's a
Right.
small,
That's why I'm like, where did she get 16 pounds to lose? Like, seriously.
16.
I mean, she said she lost 16 pounds. She said they were having a donut and a pizza party afterwards, child, because she needed all her carbs.
Listen, she was on that Beyonce diet when she was drinking that cayenne lemon water. That's what she was. That's probably what she was doing. She drank that shit for 3 weeks straight.
I think everyone that was there was on a diet, because who else mentioned Tiana Taylor? She talked about how she was like, I got my Popeyes. Like, in the,
Well, I mean,
you know.
I mean, it's a big event. You got to show up looking the best you can, right? Because the whole
course.
point of the event is to look good. And so you know what? I saw a video of Nicki Minaj coming up the stairs. She looked out of breath, and
Nicki
I just
Minaj
felt,
did not lose no pounds.
and I felt seen. You know what I'm saying? She was coming up them stairs, out of fucking breath, like whew. Girdle too tight.
Right. That girdle probably was super tight. Like, I have been to an event before in my
Right.
friggin' bustier or whatever. It was so tight. I was like, I cannot freaking breathe. And I feel like
Right.
every time I was going up some stairs, I needed a minute, child. It was
Right.
not.
I felt seen. I'm like, you know what?
And she said, and still couldn't fit Marilyn Monroe's dress. She sure didn't fit it like Marilyn Monroe fit it, though.
No, she didn't.
Marilyn Monroe was kind of thick. After I saw the pictures of the side by side, I was like, oh, Marilyn was kind of.
Marilyn Monroe was
thick.
she was full figured, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she was that thick. I was thinking she was super. I mean, obviously we see
Also, the
pictures of
dress
her
was
being
made for Marilyn Monroe.
Right. I'm sure they altered it though. I'm sure
Right.
they could have altered it appropriately for
Right.
for Kim. And I thought that why wouldn't they make it? Because it was like the waist area wasn't fitted to her body like Marilyn Monroe's was. So I was like,
Right.
why wouldn't they fit it
well,
like that?
Well, because the dress costs $4 million, right? And so she needed to be able to get in this dress without. I think they probably, because it's in a museum, so they're not going to alter the dress for her. You need to be able to get in this dress the way it is right now. We need to be able to zip this for real, because we got to put it back.
You're right. You're right. And clearly you wasn't thick as Marilyn, child, because that's what it really was.
Right. So it's. So what do you think about this tattoo on Pete's neck?
I think that's disrespectful. If it really is the case that
hell.
Pete got Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's kids' initials tattooed on his neck, I think that's hella disrespectful. And you really are trying to taunt Kanye,
Right.
and you need your ass whooped.
Yeah, he need to see Kanye about that one.
Like, immediately.
Right. Y'all need to go to the parking lot at 3:00, and you need to see Kanye West about that tattoo.
Immediately. Like, it's not okay. Like, I can't even believe that this man thought that was a good idea. Like, what?
Yeah, no, that's.
But anyway, I wanted to show you this though, the side by side of the ladies.
The ladies looked amazing. They
So-
really.
Megan looked good. Cardi looked good. Nikki looked good. I don't know what Nikki's
Okay, the thing
like.
was
What?
gilded, right?
Right. I wasn't. I don't know.
And that does not look gilded. She looks good.
Yeah, she
Like,
looks good, but I wasn't feeling the gilded part.
yeah, I wasn't feeling gilded.
So, Cardi B looked amazing. That dress
Yeah, she
that
did.
she had on was everything. Megan looked good. Lizzo looked good too. Her
Lizzo
dress
looked
looked
really, really
good.
good. Lizzo
Yeah.
looked amazing. I thought the men came out. They stepped it up a little bit. They came out. I was seeing a trend in capes. The brothers was all in. A lot of the brothers was in capes. They was giving them Count Dracula, which I appreciate. And the brothers was coming out giving them drama. I appreciated that. Yeah, Lizzo did look amazing. I don't know who that was in that red velvet cake looking puffer jacket situation. I wasn't really feeling that. I don't know. When I saw it, I said that's not the look. And I don't think
That
a lot of
wasn't
people
it.
got gilded. Like it wasn't. Some people were
They
doing
didn't.
an age.
Whomever their designers were didn't really understand the assignment. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Bad Bunny, I feel like he did a good job. He gave gilded age. So he had like the Victorian shoulders. He had his hair done up like the ladies in the gilded age. So he gave the age, and then so like our Lizzo gave actual gilded, or like Cardi was like I am gilded, like I am that word. But some people were just showing up in a suit, and it was
Yeah, like Pete Davidson.
Pete looked like Steve Buscemi in
I thought it was.
in
I was
Reservoir
giving.
Dogs or something
It was
like
giving me
that.
Men in Black.
Nah,
That's what it was giving me.
he looked like Reservoir Dogs. Like he looked like one of them. You've seen that movie?
No,
He
I have
look
not.
it up. He looks like Steve Buscemi in Reservoir Dogs.
I
That's who
believe
he
it.
looks like. He looks like the motherfucker on what's it? Big Daddy, the homeless man on Big Daddy.
Yes.
That's what he looked like.
Yeah, I think that Pete definitely needs somebody need to put some respect on Kanye's kids' names.
Absolutely.
Because
100%.
that's a level of disrespect. Like, hopefully Kanye is on an island somewhere with no phone and does not know that this man got these initials tattooed on him.
Yeah.
Because if that is the case, he's going to while out, and I'm not mad at him if he does.
Yeah. No, not at all.
So,
Not at all.
so y'all better be ready for Kanye to respond, and don't think that man is crazy, because he is definitely not crazy in that case. That's
Not at
wild.
all.
Like, why would you do that? It's not even like he's a bad father and he's
Right,
estranged or he died
Right,
or something. You
right.
inherited in children, like, and then Kim, why
You
would
just
you let
fucking
that
a
man?
mama.
And
Right?
then
Like you not even.
Kim, why would you let that man get that tattooed on him?
Because she wants to antagonize Kanye.
Like, I'm sorry, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
She might need to get some too. So,
Oh, protect women, right?
what did I just say? I equally, they could both get it. Okay, look,
Come on, equal rights.
that's not okay. I'm not here for it. You have anything else? Any more tea we need to spill before we go?
Black China gonna be doing a celebrity boxing match.
Ciao. And
I would just say that. we go end tonight. Black China is gonna be. That's how hard it is right now.
And she said,
For
who
her.
wants to go against her? And someone who I just interviewed last year. Why is my mind going blank with this girl's name?
Uh-oh.
She just recently changed it. But anyway, said that she wanted to jump in the ring.
With Black
And,
China?
Yeah. Who do you think could get in the ring with Black China to create
Anybody.
some funds? Because that's what they need to do, is create funds.
Bad Baby. Ooh, they should put Sukihani in the ring with her.
Bad Baby.
They
She's
should put
like
no.
18 years old.
They should. Well, I'm just thinking it should be the battle of the OnlyFans models. Like, so they should put.
But we gotta ones that's making money. Bad Baby need to. She's good. She $52 million up. She
Right.
does not need to do a celebrity boxing match.
Her daddy said she was being groomed for that, which I don't disagree. But
How
yeah, maybe
though? How did y'all see her behavior at 14 years old with her mama?
that's what she was saying. Her mama was grooming her to be a porn star.
She said her mama, according to what I saw on Dr. Phil, was there because she thought that her daughter was wilding out.
Maybe it was all an elaborate ruse. Who
It could have
knows?
been. It could have been. I don't know. It could
A
have been. But the
well-crafted
thing is,
media
they
ploy.
say that she doesn't even post anything nudish on her OnlyFans. It's really just sick old men that want to talk to her or, do something or have conversation with her on freaking OnlyFans. She's not even doing nothing according to what the word is, at least.
But I think that if we talking about Black China fighting, Sukihana, Black China, I'd watch that.
I know she would rather one of them Kardashians, because I do think that they did her a little bit dirty.
Well, she didn't lose that $100 million suit.
Yeah, I think that they definitely owed her some money. $100 million, probably not. They probably should run her about $25 million.
25 million, you think?
Yeah.
I'll say 17.5.
Why? Why 17.5?
I'll say 17.5. Because technically, the Kardashian clan is still paying her child support. So
She should. Technically, he should be paying child support as her daddy.
the baby lived with him.
That's untrue, and those are untrue facts. They have the kid 3.5 days each, and he just so happens to make more money than her. That's just how it goes. Unfortunately, that's the regular court for poor people too. So it doesn't matter, you know.
Listen, okay, 17.5. It's my final offer.
17.5 is your final offer. They definitely need to run her something though, because I think that they had too much of an advantage, especially with all of them showing up. I'm sure they had cameras there. I'm sure they had. I heard that
Kicked
they
her mom
also gave
out.
them. They gave them special privileges to use private rooms at the courthouse, so on and so forth, which I think that is unfair. And they did get her show canceled. Whether they try to make it seem like they didn't or not, they did get her show canceled, and they do owe her some money for that. So,
17.5.
and then too, for giving her a hard time about her daughter not being able to use Kardashian when she's the only Kardashian. Like,
Right.
seriously, like, really get it together.
Yeah.
So, I hope that they rethink that and run her some money on their own outside of court, and they should at least pay her legal fees as well. They should be paying for her legal fees for sure.
I hope so. Did you see how Mama started
The GoFundMe, child.
the GoFundMe?
I think the show should be over now.
I
The show
think so,
should
too.
definitely. The show should definitely be
can't
over
take it.
because Black China's mama Tokyo Tony and started a GoFundMe to help them go and
Go back to court, I think.
to appeal this court decision. Not the GoFundMe,
Not
child.
the GoFundMe. Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
Thank y'all for coming out.
Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us on the Shady Ass Tea. Sir, where can the people find you on social media?
They can find me on IG's the Sir Armstrong, and on Facebook, just Sir Armstrong. Definitely follow
right.
me, message me, say hey. I'm a real human.
All right. You can find me on every single social media platform at eCarrice. That's ECARRICE. And don't forget, you can catch us each and every Tuesday right here on hot7025fm.com, y'all. See y'all next Tuesday.
See
Bye.
you next Tuesday. Bye.